is very solid.
5 seconds. Just who will die? What's Radiant's ban plan?
Games are just getting to the point where it's just like every trailer looks great.
That's true.
Just who will die?
And then the game is like, nah.
What's Radiant's ban plan anyway?
I'm gonna start up if you're ready.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
All right, and welcome back to WePlay's Pushka League Division 2. We got ourselves game 2 between Team Family and KSK. Looking to see if Team Family can 2-0 the open qualifier team of KSK. They looked really good in the first game. And,
5 seconds.
I mean, coming into this next one, I'm kind of expecting them to roll over KSK again. And I know that might be a little bit rude to KSK, but Team Family looked a lot better than yesterday. Mio played really well. Sunlight especially joining the team today. You were saying you hope they ban that Phantom Lancer, and I agree, because that was amazing.
Yeah, I think, again, I don't know how much info KSK have on Family necessarily. Maybe they're also banning other comfort heroes, but based off of how
10
Family
seconds.
played in Game 1, I definitely think that some of their heroes warrant respect bans. The Phantom Lancer, as well as the Shaker. But again, it's possible that KSK are just like, man, we cannot let Kuro get his Timbersaw, I suppose, as they opt to actually ban out the Timbersaw, and Family start out with a Coddle. Can't pair it with the Ember, as KSK will respect ban Mio's Ember, but that just means that his Quap potentially may come out now.
The Quap of Mio. We'll see if it can do better.
10
Yeah, actually, let me
Will
see.
it
What
receive
are
as
his
many
career
tips?
stats on it? Does
Yeah, that's a small
5
sample
seconds.
size. Yesterday's
Exactly.
best of 3 was just 2 games. It's a very small sample size. I would love a stat, and I don't know if Knoxville is listening, but I would love a how many times have you tipped stat in pro games, and how many times have you been tipped in pro games? I think those are some great statistics, especially during the TI season.
I don't know if the API leads itself to that, but yeah, I'm curious because there are definitely some players who are more vulnerable to it. Recently, Arteezy has proven to be like the most
5
amusing
seconds.
person to tip. Even Rich was telling me that in like a pub that he had queued up with like Blitz and Arteezy had tipped
It's Radiant's
Arteezy,
turn.
just like he didn't know the history behind it, and then Arteezy immediately blocked Rich. So there's definitely some players who are more vulnerable to it than others. And, yeah, okay, so
That's a lot. That's a big reaction for a
dude,
tip.
zero tolerance policy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right,
Jesus.
Mio's Dota buff is actually, he's like a relatively recent, I don't know, professional player. He does not have the
5
most
seconds.
like robust
We had that interview
esports
yesterday.
profile. Yeah,
We had that interview. Which profile is actually Mio's? How many profiles
true.
does he have?
that's fair. He's
We
a
don't know
he's a
his other
smurfer. He's a filthy smurfer, and I'm looking at his current one, the one that he's playing on right now, and he does have 2 games on Meepo with 100% win rate. And so that's what Toby was telling us in their series versus Family, is that Mio has a tendency to show up in some competitive games under different names, and they don't know what to draft against him. But let me tell you, I know what to draft against him when he's playing under this account. It's going to be either Queen of Pain or Ember Spirit, which are his most 2 played heroes on this account. So he does have 7 Queen of Pain games, and he has 6 Ember Spirit games, and his third most was Nature's Prophet, so it's possible that KSK had targeted 2 of their bans towards Mio, but he'll get his Queen of Pain, no big surprise.
Queen of Pain here again. I'm hoping for a big Mio game. I need to see the other side of the spectrum on
Redemption.
this one. Yeah, a little redemption. But if I'm
5 seconds
KSK,
remaining.
I'm hovering over the tip button at any moment he dies.
Well, it can go both ways though. Like if you tip a player when things are like relatively level, then you sometimes you like
It's Dive's
ignite
turn
that
to
fire in them to be like, how dare you? But if you're winning, then definitely you can be like, yeah, you suck.
Does that get to you? So like, I feel like there's definitely games where I'm in a pub and the other team is winning by a lot, but I'm kind of comfortable with where we're at, mid-game, late game, like I'm comfortable with getting there. They say something in all chat and all of a sudden I am just deadly focused. Like, you know what?
10
I was gonna play this game relaxed, this pub game for my 25 MMR, but now
5
all in.
seconds.
I'm invested. It's TI. Like, does that ever happen to you where you're pulled into just caring more because you've been tipped or chatted at?
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
It requires actual gameplay for me to get like actually incited. So if I consistently get targeted, then I'll suddenly be like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Because like there are times where sometimes you'll get ganked just because it's convenient, and there are other times that you'll get ganked just because they want to kill you, and they're like, I'll just keep killing this like lion, you know? I mean, like, I'm gonna go massively out of position. Like, even if my team wins the subsequent fight because they went like super deep or something like that, and it's like a 1-for-4 exchange, I'll still be very irritated, and I'll be like, God, you're so dumb. Why would you do that? And then I'll start taking it very seriously. But I'm kind of cheap, and so tips are almost like, sweet, free shards. I'll take it. I don't really care. And all chat generally doesn't bother me too much, so yeah.
5
Give me
seconds.
the TI season battle pass. What maybe will be a year-long battle pass. Tip me every game. I'll be out of position for my team to farm, and I'll take the tips.
Bring me
Thank you very
to that
much.
baby Roshan level 1000 without even me spending $1 for.
Yeah, give me to that baby Roshan. I'll get it delivered in 2 years. I'll be happy, and I'll have the statue on my shelf. It's okay. But going into this draft, we take a look as Earth Spirits picked up this time for Team Family with Queen of Pain and the Keeper of the Light. And it looks like that should be a 5-up Earth Spirit. He played the Earth Shaker in the 4 position last game. I don't think this is going to be a Kato in the 4. Earth Spirit taking the majority of the support farm, and then KSK now Gyro, Bane, Runic, Void Spirit. So they're locked down potentially there,
10
as they've got
seconds.
Nightmare to work with, as well as Fiend's Grip, Telekinesis, if they land the Aether Remnant
5
and the
seconds.
Homing Missile. Like, there's a lot here for KSK in a team fight to get some control out, or even just to pick off.
Yeah, meanwhile, Family are kind of lacking. They have the Stun and the Silence from the Earth Spirit, which will definitely be irritating for the Void Spirit. But outside of that, not really as much hard disable as KSK. So I would hope that they pick up an offlaner with, I don't know, some sort of disable. Centaur is available. I'd be down for a Centaur. I think Stampede would be pretty able. Who's the Kuro? Let's see, what does Kuro have in Arsenal? Darkseer, Prophet, Beastmaster, Doom, Kunkka, Sand King. Oh, I'd be down for Sand King. Sand King or Centaur. Bat Rider also. I don't know. Anything that has a
It's
disable
diced.
and can initiate.
Legion Commander.
That's also good. It has a pretty solid disable, especially against the Void Spirit. Blade Mail I can see being very, very valuable this game, and obviously very, very solid off. And it will have a hard dispel for Bane's Fiend Script. So,
And the Legion
10
coming in with Queen of Pain. I like Legion in the offlane. I think
5
it's one of those
seconds.
heroes that can be very valuable for you, but it's also one of those heroes that sometimes you see doesn't do anything in the first 10 minutes, and then that leads to like it not doing anything
It's
at all.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Sometimes can be super hit or miss, and
Yeah.
I get worried. And it's,
she'll never really like catastrophically lose her lane though. So like at the minimum she'll still like get experience. Yeah, I agree that other offlaners, it's less likely that we'll see Gyrocopter die into some other lane.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
ban that Sork Outlast.
Oh yeah, okay.
Go back to the Phantom Lancer.
Wouldn't be bad, but I think there are better options available. Against a Gyrocopter and Void Spirit, they don't really struggle against Phantom Lance that much compared to Mage does.
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
Actually, sound like a mid player. Because most of his heroes that were listed were all like mid. So he has Shadow Fiend, Monkey. He's pretty well rounded. Oh, he has Lycan. Oh no, Lycan. His Morphling. Oh, Morphling. Dude, Morphling would be Great.
Dire should
Be a
pick
big
Dire.
one.
So Troll comes in. Last pick goes to KSK again, and with their last pick in the previous game, they went Bristle mid. I think maybe thankfully for them, it's banned this time.
10 seconds.
Now they have to pick up a mid laner. Well, actually, Void Spirit's probably the mid.
5 seconds.
Warlord.
It certainly could be the off lane for the Void Spirit, but I feel like it's gonna be their mid.
Yeah, I just think there's too much value in an Aghanim Scepter this game for the Void Spirit with the silence against this Queen of Pain and this Troll. So I prefer the Void Spirit having more farm. He's definitely capable of like doing. The last time they had the Mars, and the Mars player plays a lot of Legion Commander, plays a lot of Abaddon. I don't really think about. Night Stalker. Night Stalker's like surprisingly slept on. I don't know why he's not more popular. I find the hero to be fairly good. His Aghanim Scepter got nerfed to like the ground, but I still think that the very, very consistent laning is I always favor heroes who provide vision. Beastmaster being banned, Nature's Prophet being banned, and you'd see all these vision heroes be very, very popular. Somehow, Night Stalker is just kind of falling by the way.
Especially with how much it seems like offlaners just get banned throughout drafts these days. I'm surprised it never falls to him, or not as much. I'm assuming a lot of time thinking about this pick.
Choose your
Centaur.
Yeah, it's
Finish it off with another stun.
Another stun, more initiation, a hero that does not really have to worry too much about Troll Warlord or Coddle in the offlane. So yeah, and yet again, overall pretty even drafts. I would say that Family definitely had a draft advantage. In this game, it will kind of come on to Copy's Void Spirit, I think. Their series versus Viking, I was saying how Mio's Queen of Pain really needed to snowball, and then this game, he doesn't necessarily need to snowball, but he needs to make sure he does not, because a Void Spirit who gets super farmed can be a massive nuisance this game, because like I said, the Aghanim Scepter is so value, the silence is so value against all of the
Sunlight on this Troll, Crowpath on the Legion Commander, 5-up will be on that Earth Spirit, Meal on the Queen of Pain, Master Risk on that Coddle with 0 on the Centaur, Low Steel on the Gyro, Filmity on the Bane, Solar on the Rubik, Copy on. So, I just
have faith in the Hungarians.
I'm nervous about the Hungarians. You know, coming into this best of 3. I talked about how Team Family felt like they had a lack of execution, and now I'm seeing Team Family they executed really well in the first game, but seeing some of that lack of execution for KSK, that they have a lot to set up here. They have a lot of stuns, a lot that can really make their team fights work, a lot that can make their pickoffs work, but can they execute? And that's what worries me. It shouldn't be hard with this lineup. They've got so much lockdown.
Get off my lawn!
And I feel like they have multiple initiation options.
The most dangerous thing is if they use too much of their lockdown, like, and they I don't know, stagger their disables appropriately, because against a hero like a Troll Warlord who can get the battle trance off, against a hero like Queen of Pain who can be able to blink out, and against a hero like Legion Commander who can purge all that stuff off, you need to be very, very careful about how you distribute your disables, which they have a lot. So there's some margin for error, but yeah, I'm with you. It's definitely not on autopilot for their team, sure.
30 seconds to battle.
On the Centaur already gets 4 stacks to the retaliate. Give that bot to 1 tower. He's having a chuckle.
I remember you just used to, and sometimes you still do, but you just see like a centaur just go under mid for a little bit, hang
Yeah,
out.
mid used to be the main thing, and then centaur became popular enough that everyone just started racing mid as soon as there was a centaur in the game. And now Zero's taking a lot of abuse from all angles. Blinding light.
The way to see.
Well, he rolls out of the base with 10 retaliate stacks, although he did take quite a bit of abuse. And wow, Master Risk is shameless. He's still just following him around, maybe trying to see if he did end up taking that bounty. 11 retaliate stacks right at the base. Pretty nice for a centaur.
Yeah! Better luck next time.
Solar will be down here over bottom. Against Sunlight and Master Risk. Very interested to see how Mio does over mid. One of the things I'd like to see from Mio this game is what he did on the Ember in the previous game and rotate and take those opportunistic chances to get some kills.
Yeah, but it seemed very dependent on the runes. Like, I don't really think Mio was like, oh, now it's like a time for me to do it. It was like, haste rune? Alright, I guess I'll rotate.
I see a lot of.
But I agree that, like, I do think that should be the play, and yet somehow Mio kind of seems a little bit more conservative more often than not.
Which I think hurts his overall performance at times. Something we saw in Viking GG's series. You know, sitting mid and not really taking those chances.
Because usually usually whenever the mid laner's off the map, then everyone's kind of on edge because they're like, oh, you know, like the bot, she could be getting bot at any moment, you could be getting top at any moment. But for some mid laners, you're just like, oh, they're just in the jungle. I have nothing to be concerned about. Even if they're not in vision, like chances are they're probably jungling right now. And for some of them, it's dependent on the draft. Like for alchemists, obviously you're not expecting an alchemist to be rotating. But for heroes like Ember Spirit, for heroes like Queen of New Pain, half the reason you draft them is because you want them to create that pressure by doing nothing. Just by like not being on the map, you want the enemy safe lane carry to be like, hey, should I go for this quick wave? I don't know where their Queen of Pain is.
Every time Mio throws his dagger over at Copy, he's just like, alright, dissimulate. I'll avoid that. But it's making him use it every so often. Maybe not in the way that he'd like to.
Yeah, especially
He's forcing mana out of his hands.
Too old for this horse.
actually it does.
Let this nightmare never
It's over towards top, and we'll end up hitting the deck there. That was a little bit of a lead, that kill, but how much is it really worth in terms of playing up towards top? Like, can they live with that? Is that first blood? It seems like it's maybe not as important as it used to be.
No, especially because one of the biggest things was like, if supports would get first blood, then they would get boots, and then they would be sitting all over the place. That has kind of died off because tri-items are not as popular, so you can't really afford to have one of your supports just lead. And it does end up having banked blood down it, so not really sure how much. At the end of the day, it seems more dependent on how much regen are you having to trade, and how much regen does it allow you to buy.
Again, Copy just avoiding Mio, constantly throwing out that Shadow Strike. Gone into the 2-1-1 build so far.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm surprised that it's still as even as it is, because Void Spirits against most range heroes are very, very dependent on Resonant Pulse to be able to get pipes. And in this situation, Copy is spending the majority of his mana on Dissimulate, and yet he's still doing fairly well. And they're like neck and net worth also, so it's not like Copy's spending like a bunch on mana regen either. Yeah, this is surprisingly even. I was not expecting this.
He missed that rolling boulder over towards top, and we're unable to get Domini. Maybe if it hit that pain, they were looking towards a potential kill there. Right now, Legion's sitting at 21-2, so Kuropath having a decent time towards top and out CSing right now, low skill. gets struck up by that overwhelming odds, and be careful. He's sitting a little bit low. Maybe an attack comes in, and that's what I'm talking about. Is potential to go after low skill.
Well, with that roll, it seems like Filmini should be able to scoop both the bounty runes. No, leave the lane. It's like, all right, I don't want.
Find the void.
No, on the flip side, Masterus Coddle also manages to sneak one. So, 2 apiece. Unfortunately, Solar, he's not gonna get any experience because the Centaurs just keep cutting the entire time. So the whole Rubik is just here to make sure that the tower doesn't get pushed in, but he's actually getting experience. Screwed.
Filming gets that nightmare on Kuropath. That'll keep him alive as they were trying to go into that Bane once again. Now finally Kuropath's starting to fall behind into experience, and maybe that's more just due to the fact that Filmini had backed off the lane quite a bit, and he hasn't really been involved.
Kind of going on
Up
zero
that
in the
mango.
bot lane. 5 up is down here. Get it?
Here's the roll coming through. Zero taking a lot of damage and will be kicked under tower. Wasn't expecting the Earth Spirit. Ended up losing his life.
It leaves Legion Commander alone a little bit on the top lane, but I don't know. It's too concerned. This is so they get the sleep, but I don't really. This
Probably with the only miss, but he's so fast.
He has 14 stick charges.
Double damage.
Well, bottom. Ooh, Copy coming in with a double damage. They've locked up Sunlight to get the kill there onto the Troll. It's the rotation you were hoping for, especially being rune dependent, it seems like, on a couple of these ganks, but that works out perfectly. Oh, Jesus. The damage on Amio with that DD.
Meanwhile,
Astros have forward.
it was chilling mid. Bane actually ends up dying up top, and low skill getting in kind of some trouble here. They have frenzy attacks, so they can just take this tower. Unfortunately, Earth Spirit draws the aggro instead of the Legion Commander. Overwhelming odds in 2 seconds. They need to be kind of careful. Oh.
No Fade Bolt though, no Telekinesis. Right clicks will come the way of Kuropath, but it won't get the kill onto the Legion Commander. Yeah, 5 up got melted under that tower.
Meanwhile, guess who's still chilling mid? It's me. Oh, Gyrocopter gets to like critical HP. She has Sonic Wave, and my man is sitting here in the mid lane with 3 points in Shadow Strike. So you're like, it's not like he went for a farming-oriented build where you can like alternate into the jungle with Scream of Pain. Chilling. Which definitely is my biggest criticism of Mio after 4 of these games. He will find Zero, who stamped away, has...
Good Boulder Smash.
Yeah, it slows him down along with that Shadow Strike.
I don't know if...
Sonic...
Yeah, there it is. Committed.
See, Mio only goes for kills if they literally fall into lap. A Haste Rune, sure,
They're
I'll
right
go for it.
around here.
Yeah, exactly. If Centaur's like in my lane, alright, whatever, I guess I'll do it. Now he gets Telekinesis.
Now he shows up towards bottom. Level 1 is just not good.
But he even manages to get the rune, so...
Radiant's getting friendly with Dire's bottom tower.
It's one of those skills that in pubs I'll never take level 1. Don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's no
And then I will agree to get yelled at by the rest of my team. Why don't I have my stun? Because it's 0.8 second.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And like your laning is way worse. This call down comes out.
Try to get away with the Fable as well as the Telekinesis is there to get Kuropath, and good setup there with the Nightmare. Call down out Rocket Barrage at level 4. Legion Commander cleaned up, and KSK, despite the 1,000 net worth deficit, are in a pretty decent spot. What's Sunlight doing? He's top of the net worth.
Yeah. Despite that death earlier on, he's been basically getting every single last hit. Troll Warlord is a hero that can deal with creep cutting pretty well, just because his whirling axes makes it so that with the mischance on the creeps, he doesn't take too much damage, and he obviously has like a low cooldown nuke. He's actually going to be well read. He expects quite a bit of heroes.
And a will be the first duel, I believe, for the Legion Commander, and a duel victory nonetheless. So getting that 10 extra damage early on, and that's one of those things that I talked about with the Legion Commander, where you don't really get the ball rolling. Sometimes it feels like you fall flat pretty heavily, but one duel, one win. Certainly a great way to start it. And now can they set up? They got one outpost. Question is, are they going to grab ball? It doesn't look like it.
They basically mirror the movements, except instead of the mid laner rotating, it was their carry rotating. We'll successfully take the bot tier 1. It's a little slower from Family on the other side, so they could defend it. I'm seeing some pings come out from Earth Spirit. And Kuro's gonna start cutting down some trees to see if he can find any TPs coming in, but I don't really know if they're gonna be able to defend this without the Chowder, who has his TP. 30 seconds.
Certainly not the quickest Lumberjack.
Lumberjack, that's what you would go for.
Yeah, cutting down the trees.
Oh, Legion Commander. Okay. I thought you were referring to Gyrocopter, and I was just like, Gyrocopter seems more technologically advanced than a Lumberjack.
He built something straight out of like that Chip and Dale episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about. Donald Duck ends up creating a machine that destroys the apple trees.
Oh my god. Donald does that? For
Sonic Wave comes in, they get to go to the Gyrocopter, they use the Stampede to try and get him out, and now there's the stolen Sonic Wave taking out Sunlight. Good Magnetize coming through from 5 up, as I believe Kuropath is looking for a duel and will find it on the Solar to get the second duel victory. Now 20 damage in his hands. But they've got this Centaur in trouble, back into the Will-O-Wisp, and ends up dead. So does Filmini. 4 heroes got on the side of KSK, not CSK.
Dude, freaking Earth Spirit dealt so much damage. Earth Spirit dealt the second most damage in that team fight with that Magnetize. That was an amazing Magnetize. He had not been ganking for a while, so he had like all of his stones available, and he was just chain reacting with that on everyone. Along with that Will-O-Wisp, it was great sequence. It's a great team fight, and yes, another dual victory again for the Legion Commander.
That ball rolling. That Earth Spirit, yeah. Very, very good movements here from 5 up. And I'm not too surprised. He played really well in that Earth Shaker. His movements on the Earth Shaker were really good. And I think it's one of the things that Earth Spirit benefits from very well is that knowledge on where to rotate, how to rotate, and like having that feeling. Like there are some players who do it really well. I would say Bobica was one of those players that did it really well. Back when he was in the 4 position for IG. He just used to roam around, knew where to be, like a fortune teller. Just knew where to be before it even happened. That also goes to communication with the team, too.
Yeah, Earth Spirit's a hero that needs a +1. You need teams that can cooperate with the Earth Spirit.
The Urn. Wonder if he'll finish that off in his Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, I would assume as much. It just seems like people value the aura. It's just a pretty significant buff in the recent patches, and it makes it always valuable against. It's like a team fight item now. It was very strange. Risk. Oh, roll X onto
Solar. Magnetic grip, so he is in a lot of trouble. He's got the stolen scream though, and almost kills Master Risk with it. Jesus. And originally, people thought that that Spirit Vessel change was a nerf. Seems like it's just as popular as it was prior to the change.
Yeah, I mean there were definitely some instances which it's weaker, but for the most part, it's just like objectively a nerf because the item itself still provides nearly the same utility whenever you actively cast it on something. It's like it was 10% less or maybe 5% less. Just a scoop of haste turn. And that's like really insignificant at that point. Whereas just having it on all 5 heroes as an aura debuff, that's amazing because like in this game specifically, you'll be able to mitigate the Pain's Brain Sap as 0, taking some damage. So you mitigate Brain Sap regen, Centaur's passive regen, and then I imagine eventually Gyro's gonna get a Satanic if the game goes that late. So it's just so useful as like an all-purpose team fight debuff.
I will say Filmini and the experience difference between Team Family and KSK is massive. He is still just level 5. He's about to hit that level 6, but look at the difference between him and the Coddle as well as the Earth Spirit. This is a big spread between the two, and I think it's that Fiend's Grip just it's so valuable.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I don't even know if he took the tome. Because if he took the tome and he's still level 5, then sounds unpopular. I don't get to deal with the Stampede.
Stampede keeps him alive, and Kuropath forced back with that telekinesis as well as the Fade Bolt. Played too aggressive near that tier 2 tower. And all the while, Sunlight just continuing to farm. Got himself into the Maelstrom. He's looking for the BKB. Top net worth by about 700 over the Gyrocopter, who is going first item Ags and just 1,000 gold away from that.
This is why if you ever need a stand-in, having a carry stand-in is usually the best option because they don't need to make any calls for the first 15 or even like the first 25 minutes. The carry player does not need to make any calls. They don't need to communicate at all. All you need to do is look at the minimap, and that is the only language that you need to speak. It's like, where's my team? Are they winning? Great, then I need to be as far away from my team as possible. Are they losing? Okay, I need to be kind of in the vicinity of my to make sure that we don't lose any. Sunlight is meshing very, very well with Team Family right now, and they're rushing. Gonna smoke up.
They did catch vision on Sunlight going to stop something. Know that he's not in the area. This is a big ambitious from 5 up. They've got the call down as well as the telekinesis. And he's immediately cleaned up with a get the duel out onto the Gyrocopter and will run. So Kuropath gets the kill onto the Gyro. They take out the Bama Filmini, but Copy now follows that up to get a kill on the Legion Commander, and now might be able to turn this for more. Times will wear out in just a second on 0. He looks over for Master Risk, who's inside the trees and safely away.
Yeah, this maxed out Nightmare build from Bane is actually kind of paying dividends. So he leads off with a Nightmare on the Legion Commander, and like, you need a Legion Commander in the fight, right? And so Coddle takes it off. And the problem is you kind of need Will-O-Wisp in the fight also. And so as a result, like, the Legion Commander, the Earth Spirit, and the Queen of Pain initiate because none of those heroes can take it off. And the Will-O-Wisp is significantly delayed, so that fight does not go nearly as well as it should have, and Queen of Pain ends up going down as a result. Still a dual control victory, though.
Control on Mio was very clutch there from the Bane.
Yeah, finally, I mean, we see how important the level 6 is.
Both Mio as well as the Control of Sunlight look for that BKB. Sunlight just trying to get that recipe, 1,000 gold away, but he has been pretty much untouched for a while. Had a couple of deaths over in the laning phase of it all. For right now.
Now once Troll gets that BKB, then as it is, Gyro's going to be very much under control as it's dual blade mail on the side of Radiant between the Queen of Pain and the Legion Commander, so like this Black Cannon is just going to inadvertently end up killing himself, same thing with this Aghanim Scepter, and then you only need to worry about the magic damage, which hopefully Sunlight should be able to deal with very, very early BKB.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Control is pulling further and further away.
Yeah, which is pretty surprising without the Battle Fury. I feel like for some reason, I used to see Battle Fury all the time on Troll, and now, despite no real significant nerfs, I'm seeing Maelstrom out.
And they look over map for Risk, press the attack, trying to keep this Coddle alive. We'll end up falling to the Astral Step of Copy. The missile flies in on a 5-up. They've got the BKB now on Sunlight. The question is, do they want to re-engage on this? There's still a lot here for KSK in terms of potential control. Sunlight goes into the trees, but I believe they spotted that. Mio's here as well. 5-up moving up the trees.
They see Sunlight as his BKB, so it's kind of difficult to engage with this. But overall, KSK are playing way more team-oriented than we saw in game. This is, I guess, partly a product of actually having 5 players who are willing to fight. So an anti-mage who does not want to fight ever. On a gyrocopter with low skill, especially first on a Magnum Scepter, he's more than happy to join into combat. So they're definitely flexing that dominance. Although, will they be able to take this outpost, or is 5-up just gonna sneak it away from them? Bane's on the move. I would totally TP as soon as I see Bane start channeling. Starts. Yeah, but I guess they don't see where the rest of Dire are, so no.
Bounty.
So one apiece. That'll help Filmini this time. Observer Ward. Take out a sentry. Filmini just clearing up some vision, but while all that's happening, got the side of Team Family looking to take the Aegis.
Yeah, they don't have like a morbid map or anything for this Troll Warlord, but with Crusty attack, I think they have more than enough to stand. Oh, Zero just walks in. Oh, he still has plenty of time. He can totally steal this. No, drop something out of your sleeve.
That was a hurry, but they got the Aegis down. It's picked up by Sunlight, and they got the kill. Sonic Wave comes in with the Will-O-Wisp down. They look over at Filmini, who's got the Fiend's Grip out onto the Kano, but he's already used his kit, and it really doesn't matter if he ends up getting Fiend's Grip in this situation. Zero dies to Sunlight. They look over at Filmini, who's got the Shadow Strike on him, but there's the duel and the victory at the last second for the Legion Commander.
No, Centaur. Okay, so you can click on Centaur now, and you see that the Quelling Blade is in his backpack. That is not what happened. I think he specifically did that for the people who would be spectating him afterwards, because he had all 6 of his slots filled whenever he killed that Roche. And as a result, despite very good timing on the Hoof Stomp and the Double Edge, which ultimately did not end up getting the kill, it was still well timed. His Solar is gonna. Yeah, he could have taken the Aegis, but he had a full Torre.
Gotta be aware.
That is an expensive turnaround, and they don't even lose the Aegis. Sunlight still holds on to that. Battle Transcends up, keeping him alive. He will be able to successfully take this tier 2 tower. That is a brutal turn of events.
To have this Aegis still means that they can set up and look for another fight, especially when the Sonic Wave comes up and the Will-O-Wisp if they want to wait for both.
Yeah, I imagine they will. As actually,
They'll pop the Aegis, so now maybe that's kind of out of the cards, but it's certainly still possible with just one life. Felt more comfortable having both the Aegis, but now the duel comes in onto the Centaur. Do they have the damage in time? No, just late.
Still a value kill nonetheless. Oh, at least he's. I mean, really any of Queen of Pain's spells are pretty good, but Blink and Scream are ideal at Sonic Wave. So maxed out Blink and Rubik with 3 points Telekinesis, 2 points Arcane Supremacy. So he can definitely catch this Queen of Pain out of position if they want to go for a fight. But with Centaur being dead for another 20 seconds, I think they may just have to let this top tier 2 tower go.
Interesting that 5-up didn't go for the Spare Vessel, but instead he's going for the
Wow, they really hate this gyrocopter. He enters a team fight and he flat cannons like twice, and he's gonna lose half of his HP pool instantly. Pretty slick for them to let Sunlight push the top tier 2 all by himself while the rest of his team smokes. Pretty greedy, but also clever maneuver. And now Sunlight will TP bot. They're just very systematically taking all of these outer structures that remain.
They're gonna send Sunlight bottom. He'll push that lane next. The owner getting over for the Queen of Pain.
Feels quite large right now. Being
Like
able
a 8 ags with the Void Remember.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, he definitely stopped off for the Yules, but I would feel that it's possible they just have not taken very many structures, and so now they're pushing top tier 1. So, whereas Killstill Commando have all but one outer tower taken with a lot of gold in their banks. Meanwhile, Killstill Commando are still searching for structural objectives, and so they will be able to successfully take the top tier 1, but they need to careful about their own high ground getting pushed and clumsy net into
God.
the roll.
Filmini in trouble, and the duel on the back lines onto the Rubik. Can they get both these kills? Yes, they can. Filmini and Solar both die. Willis is down, but it grants them 2 kills. The buyback comes out from the Bane immediately. Zero path now sending 66 damage as they try to take the 2-3 tower and should do so very quickly. On top of that, now on the back line, Sonic Wave hitting Filmini. 5 up ends up dead here to copy.
The Centaur doesn't
Go step forward.
scroll. Centaur's having to walk all the way back, and he had the Crimson Guard also. That would have been amazing for these folks. They will sacrifice Master Risk, but they do not want to have to give up that much. Oh, Neo walks into the Centaur.
Zero now trying to do as much damage as he can on the Mio. Mio doesn't have the Sonic Wave to get the Fiend's Grip post BKB out onto the Troll. And they need to find a way to get the Troll out successfully, but they can't. So he dies, Legion dies, and Family Team, had they just gotten out of that, I mean, they would have been happy. But they ended up giving up a bunch more than probably was necessary.
Can you not press the attack on spell immune allies? I thought you could, because just kind of the Legion Commander was just kind of staring.
Radiant just
Okay, so officially it says does not pierce spell immunity, so maybe you can't. And so by Troll Lord activating that BKB, he actually made things worse because Legion could not dispel the Fiend's Grip. So yeah, that is a pretty clumsy maneuver from Team Family, with Mio initially getting caught out, blinking up for that bounty rune, and then meeting Centaur head on, and then Troll Warlord trying to save him, activating the BKB, immediately getting Fiend's Grip, and then Legion Commander, great, now I've blinked into him.
Not the there from Team Family. They did break the high ground though. They got the tier 3, but spent a lot of time diving into the back of the base, getting kills there, end up losing a couple. Now they'll try to get themselves back onto the horse. That was a hook stomp on the 3. All down comes in, but there's the Will-O-Wisp. The Loot Master is post Will-O-Wisp, but they take out Filmini. So now Zero as well as Low Skill trying to clean up the rest. They do get 5 up who buys back. Sunlight goes into that battle trance and Centaur low, but it locks him down for a second. However, still losing his life. Copy falls as well. Low Skill on the run. Shadow Strike there, as well as the overwhelming odds to finish him off. The only one alive is Solar. And I think Sunlight was thinking about going in.
Yeah, he's
Like maybe some
guided
help.
by this stolen Shadow Strike, he couldn't catch up with the Rubik, but
Dyer's
I mean,
bottom barracks are
oh
under
wait, it's stealing the creep wave, and actually Troll is not going to escort it, so backdoor protection is going to come back. I don't know if they'll be able to take these Raxes in time, but Rubik doesn't finish off the creep wave, so it'll show up in time. And Gyro may have to buy back now, as 1 Raxus, again, the 2 Raxes are kind of unacceptable. Same thing was the case for the Anti-Mage. They're going to Glyph. Wow, Rubik is managing to... I can't believe letting Rubik just steal these creep waves.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Now that he's got that blink, it's certainly a little bit more difficult to catch him.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, wow,
tower.
Gyro's not gonna have to buy back. Props to Solar. It's totally worth him giving up his life for this, and he doesn't even die. In fact, he's gonna steal DD Rune also. Very well played. Yeah, Solar has bought them quite a bit of time there. That is also just like kind of clumsiness from Family. They should not let a Rubik, like as soon as that first Fade Bolt came out, Troll Warlord should have just started escorting the wave. Obviously, he is one of the fastest pushers, so it would be nice for him to be on the high ground, but, you know, backdoor protection being removed is also possible.
Dyer are scanning for
We'll be
enemies.
back up in 2 minutes. Definitely a big objective coming up. Scan for the Dire came in, but where that Roche will not be up for quite a while, and they're going to smoke. So they'll have Zero lead the way so far. We've got Solar Copy smoked up behind him, as well as Filmini looking to help out. And there it is. Troll locked down. Press the attack comes in, as well as the telekinesis. Needs to be careful, but now going the the other way with the blade now. Call down comes in. They've got the Nightmare. They'll finally pull that off. They're trying to get the kill. The Nightmare back onto the Centaur. They'll get themselves the kill onto the Zero. Finally, but the Fiend's Grip comes in on a Mio. And the stolen Sonic Wave hits both Sunlight as well as Mio. So now they lose 5 up. He brought back in the previous engagement. So he's got for 70 seconds without buyback. They bought back on the Centaur to try and make this more valuable for them. But this is not really turning into anything more. Maybe just also to go towards Roche potentially, but that's still a minute away.
Yeah, I have not. Zero has been playing very loose this game. He may be a bit tilted, it seems, because he's getting caught in positions that like a center. Like I have not seen him activate Crimson Guard like more than twice this entire game. And that was his first item that he completed, and his team is just not benefiting from it at all. So it's very important that he is a little bit more cognizant of his positioning, because it shouldn't be that Legion Commander's cool dueling a Centaur. Centaur is like a hero that's like, okay, cool, you have to duel me as opposed to my Gyrocopter or as opposed to my Void Spirit, and yet it is working. He's such an important component with that Crimson Guard and the Stampede that they're more than willing to spend that cooldown on that hero.
The side of KSK backed up. Master Risk will go into the Roche pit. Spot that Roche is back up here with the just a cheese to be taken. Give Family team go for themselves an outpost.
They can take this. Yeah, they can take this pretty slow once taking that outpost, because the ball lane's gonna be pushing. So I would assume that they may have waited until like the bot goes into high ground to confirm that they defended. But you're going for it right now. They take it very quickly with the Troll Warlord, to be fair. Smoke. Centaur walks in.
Zero comes in, and Aether Remnant pulls Sunlight, but not out of the pit. Has the blink as well as the duel. There comes with the will-list, but the stolen Sonic Wave again! They take out Neo and Kuropan as Neo buys back immediately. Now they look for the rest of Zero, Zor, and Filmini go down. Low skill trying to run away with Copy, working on 5 up. Master Risk also hit the deck. They get the kill on the Gyrocopter. Now they look over at the Void Spirit, who will Astro Step across the bow of 5 up. Survives so far, but the Aether Remnant is right there to finish him off. Neo, who came back into the fight, hit the kill on the Void Spirit, but they will get this Aegis. Great job from the Rubik again.
Yeah, it's basically Solar versus Sunlight, as amusing as that is based on the name. It also seems to be the case in the game, because both of them are just having the biggest impact. Sunlight single-handedly won that fight. Obviously a great Will-O-Wisp follow-up as well, but in terms of damage dealing, Japan got blown up instantly. Troll Warlord dealt like 6.5k damage that entire fight. Queen of Pain dealt like 1.4k before she got instigated by her own Sonic Wave. But again, props to this. He is doing a fantastic job this game, but his cores are not nearly as online as Sunlight is, and it's showing.
Sunlight taking a lot of damage very quickly. He's got the Satanic though, and he'll be given the cheese. Nightmare still holding Meme still. We've got an Aether Remnant to continue that.
Sunlight's just gonna Satanic off the creeps. So he doesn't have to spend the cheese, still has the Aegis for quite a while, and the bot lane's pushing, so they don't need to leave. They can just stay here on the dire half of the map, right at the bottom of the steps, and just give Sunlight like a, 5 seconds of fervor, and all of a sudden, another tier 3 tower will be...
I think they're writing to go through their bottom lane. We don't have a smoke for that. Yo, looking for an opportunity. Sunlight in front for some, but they've got the silence now through on to Zero. They'll take out the Aegis very quickly.
And this Aether Remnant is going to catch him immediately. He's not going to be able to beat him.
Be very careful. gets that BKB off. Now looks over at the Banes, who I believe used that speed script. No, still got it. Okay, so Filmini on the run, but it doesn't look like it's going to keep his life. Magnetize comes in as well. It sounds like it's going to 5 up. Filmini dies as well. Filmini's going to buy back. Sunlight is alive for the moment in the battle trance, trying to survive, but the stun comes in. He's too deep inside the base. The Fiend script now through onto the Legion Commander. They get the kill onto 3 here on Team Family. And once again, they don't stay objective-based, and they are paying for it dearly. Master Risk, the next one in trouble, and the next one to die.
Another full sunlight.
Poor Troll Warlord, he had, so if you start an attack on a structure, and then you activate that trance like while you're mid-attack animation, then you'll be stuck on that structure. Whereas, usually Battle Trance will draw you directly to heroes, and then you'll get a bunch of lifesteal. Instead, he was just whacking away at this, like, shrine moonwell kind of thing or whatever, and he wasted like at least like 2 seconds of his battle trance and did not lifesteal up as much as he was hoping, so didn't even get time to activate the Satanic. The way the Aether Remnant works, it always beats out whenever your Aegis respawns, so you won't be able to activate BKB, so really it was just the status resistance from the Satanic that allowed him to even get close enough to activate that BKB, but he may have to buy back for this.
Radiant Long's terminal powerful.
He's starting to push through bottom, and Astral Step, Aether Remnant with the Yules, 5 up in trouble again, 5 up dead once more.
He's up in 15 seconds now, so first good thing in his life.
To Radiant Long's terminal powerful.
Neo has Sonic Wave. He wants to try to draw these off, but they're not going to pursue any Raxes. Their own base is getting pushed in. Although it's kind of a fake thing. It's a very obvious fake though, because again, like their tier 4s are getting pushed. Someone's going to defend that. And Sunlight, he's walking out of the base.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower
And he
fall?
walks back, okay.
Be careful, double catapult.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna go back now. They were just hoping for
Is
maybe
Dire
someone
going
to
let that
venture
middle
off
tower fall?
in the initial retreat, but... Okay, now you're right. Yeah, someone definitely needs to show up. Do they not have TPs or something?
No, they all
Gyro's
do.
TP. They
I'm
all have
looking.
TPs. Bro, it's 2 catapults. Yeah, what the hell? They're gonna lose a tier 4 tower
Is
almost.
Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Copy wasn't even like Aether or Astral stepping over there. He was just like chilling. Alright, well, that's a lot of tier 4 tower damage. And now, Family are actually gonna smoke up. It is quite a while until Roche would respawn, so even if they die, it's not that big a deal. But we're hoping to find someone who can push out the spot lane.
Keep. Smoke about to run out. They've got a sentry down. They're looking for a duel with the blade. Now getting popped. Great Yules coming in from Copy, and now the Legion's the one in trouble. They also got the Fiend bound with the Troll. They get the kill here on the Curl Path as the Dissimilate comes onto the hands of Master Risk. Got 2 now. 3 dead. BKB's been popped by low skill, but there comes the Battle Trance. Sunlight trying to survive, trying to break through these heroes, but the Nightmare is there. Stop Sun's up the Queen of Pain and make it 4, potentially a 5th. Sunlight trying to fight through it all. Satanic gets the kill on a 0, and now he looks to the rest. They get the kill here on the Rubik or 2. He survives with Battle Trance. His own. He finally ends up dying. Now they look over a low skill. Can Sunlight get this 5v1? And this is insane. Blink, post-stop, comes through as well as the Astral Step. Finally, they take Sunlight's life away. It cost them another buyback on 0. Oh man, Family back to even now. This is just falling apart for them.
Yeah, and 0 its redemption. That hoof stomp onto that Queen of Pain was definitely fight winning, because if she was able to get that Sonic Wave off, they were all clumped up. She was in prime position, but that would have been probably the end of the game. I guess Gyrocopter could have probably bought back. Instead, opts to complete out the full E-Blade. So he's not going to have buyback unless if he already bought back. No, yeah, he buys out the full E-Blade before Roche is up, so this is kind of a gamble from Gyrocopter. It is going to be very valuable, obviously, being able to effectively disarm the Troll Warlord, who cannot buy back. He's quite a bit of gold short, but they can't go for Megas because there are 2 other tier 4 or tier 2 towers up still, so really at most they'll be able to take 1 set of racks, and they'll have to wait for Roche to respawn in 1 minute. But yeah, like 0 with that hoof stomp. Mio has not been playing that well this game.
Radiant's top tower. Radiant's
Giving
top
up like
tower.
all these sonic waves to Rubik and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's been rough.
Bit unfortunate at times, but I don't know if it's Mio playing that poorly, or Solar just really playing well.
Solar's
2-6 and 16.
Yeah, this Rubik is definitely like single-handedly game-winning. Like if they win the game, it's entirely because of this Rubik being able to stall out that earlier push by stealing the creep wave, these clutch steals on Sonic Wave and stuff like that. He's been putting the team on it for sure.
You can see what Sunlight was able to do. The 1v5, it looked like he had a chance to jump. There's the blink as well as the host on. It's a blue caught by Sunlight. They've got the Stampede to try and run away from this. They've got the duel out on the Centaur as well as the Wills. That locks up Germany. The Jew may get it. That silences up the beam. This gives them an opportunity to try and fight on this. The Battle Trance comes in as he's hit with that E-Blade. Sunlight trying to heal up here as he starts hitting away, but it's not going to be enough. He'll end up dead. So they get the kill there. He's down for 100 seconds without buyback. They bought back on both the Legion as well as the Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, Filmini did end up surviving, uses that Fiend's Grip, and all of a sudden KSK have themselves a 7,000 net worth lead. They'll go into the Roche pit. He just choosing Ag's Blessing, now potentially in the hands of KSK.
Yeah, he ends up getting a full channel duration on that Queen of Pain, so Mio was just like not in that fight at all for the entirety of it, and at this point it's pretty solidly in Dire's favor. Zero is more than happy to get dueled at this point. Oh wow, okay, so Caudible gets... Yeah, like, Centaur, he has 5k HP with this Shaco, so there's no way you're going to be able to burn through all of that. Yet again, Zero, I'm assuming he did not get a chance to cast Crimson Guard, because I had clicked on him earlier and I didn't see any effects. Whatever the case, he is super tanky in his own right, and this initiation, like the blade mails are irrelevant now. Gyrocopter. He's got 27 armor with this E-Blade agility. He can just go face first into every single fight, whereas this Queen of Pain has to be worried about so many things.
Queen of Pain did get a Spell Prism, so only be nice to have that cooldown reduction. Puts Scream on a 5.6 second cooldown, as well as Shadow Strike on a 3.2 second cooldown.
Yeah, that actually makes level 25 quite important.
Poppy. Fat Finger BKB. Fortunate. They give the Ag's Blessing to the Rubik because
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Void Spirit and Gyro all already have Ags.
Radiant's
Oh wow,
top tower is under
yeah.
attack.
And Bane's tag is utterly garbage, so definitely give it to the Rubik there. And I mean, given his steals, it's pretty great.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And actually, he has Battle Trance
Radiant's
stolen,
bottom tower is
so
falling.
the very rarely unseen offensive Battle Trance can be used, where he casts it like, I don't know, onto the Queen of Pain to bring the Queen of Pain into their fight. It's pretty bad, so I would not be surprised if he just uses it on himself just to stay alive. There's potential.
Game
Dire's top
is
tower is under attack.
really turned over on its head, but not to say that this game isn't out of the hands of Team Family just yet.
Oh, there's a double
Dire's
catapult wave up
tower
top.
has some radiant
No one's
shield.
defending it. Sunlight is really toying with the idea of going for it, but it would not be in his best interest. Instead, they're gonna have to smoke
Dire's
and
top
walk.
tower is under
Jump.
attack.
I don't even know what the next big spike will be for Family. I don't really consider Troll to be... Troll's not like a terrible rapier carrier, but at the same time, I don't think it'll solve the problems of this game, which is that he's like the only person who's dealing damage on his team. The rest of his team is just like watching him cheerleader squad, but at this point, it's out of the hands of one person to single-handedly kill 5 people.
I think maybe if Mio was closer to level 25.
Yeah. Like with Prism and the Fear, that could make a big difference. Because how many BKBs do they even have on Dark? They have Copy has a BKB, and Gyro has his back to BKB right now. So, I mean, being able to have Fear against the Bane, the Rubik, Centaur, that can make a pretty significant difference. And Mio is now basically just like dancing around the map trying to find all these things.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is a little bit tough. The experience is 3,000 in favor of KSK. There's a point where it's a lot more beneficial here for the side of Family Team. They're doing a lot of damage to Lucian. You might want to be careful on this one, but he goes in and gets the Satanic off. Now on the back lines, though, look at where Legion is, all the way out away from his team, and will end up dead. Doesn't have buyback gone for 90 seconds. And that's a big part of this team fight.
Yeah, wow, that didn't even take Fiend's Grip. They just... Was it just Void Spirit killing him?
Stop this when Silence comes through onto the Coddle, and he does not have Will-O-Wisp. The kill there onto the Queen of Pain, who buys back. They'll also take out 5 of them. Magatai is doing a decent chunk. They finally take out 0. They look to get the kill on a low skill, but Neo blinks in there, and I don't think ever threw the scream. They finally take the Aegis away. Sunlight, he's got that battle trance. He'll finally use it. They've got the fans. They'll get the kill onto the Void Spirit, who doesn't have buyback. He's gone for 100 seconds, but they've disarmed Sunlight. He now needs to run, but he gets hit by the homing missile, and he thinks about turning around and activating that Satanic, but can never get it off, and ends up dead for 99 seconds. No buyback there either. Finally, Void Spirit has his buyback. Now at 5 versus the world.
Man, all their buybacks are because of gold. Well, actually, Legion Commanders is because of duration. And same thing with the Troll Lord is short some gold, and he may have to deal with Mega Creeps now. And as much as I've been giving a lot of credit to Rubik, Filmini has definitely shown himself to be way more than I was expecting in this game. I thought that with the Legion Commander and the Will-O-Wisp and the onto the Gyro.
And they get the kill here. They've got the BKB, but Gyro ends up being the winner of that one. So they give the dual damage over. They get the kill on Mio, and GG will be called by Team Family, pushing this one to a game 3.
I'd say everyone had their moment in the sun on KSK. Rubik was definitely